fellow Maschine users, Fontaine here on the Maschine MK3, the latest pinnacle of knowledge from Native Instruments. So this video right here, we're not going to run too long. This is just my first impressions of what I think of the unit, and it's brilliant. Trust me, you believe what I say when I tell you I've been sitting here messing around with this thing. This thing is a beast. Believe me when I tell you. So in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at just some of the basic features of it, and I'm going to be doing some more videos on this MK3, so don't worry, we're going to have a ton of videos for you guys. All right, so let's take a look at the intuitive layout. You immediately notice it is very reminiscent of the Maschine Studio. It has these nice color RGB screens here, very high quality. I'm very impressed with that. A couple of me and my friends, we were saying, these look better in the studio, and some other friends like, nah, they're the same screens. That's a debate. To me, they look about the same. they look about the same, but they're very nice, to say the least. I know some people have asked me about the brightness of them. As you can see right here is where the power adapter is plugged in. Again, I'm going to keep this video as brief as I can and try to get in, just a basic overview of it for you guys. Now, if I pull the plug on this power pack, you notice how the screens went dim a little bit, not a lot. In my opinion, it really didn't dim too much. When I plug it back in, there's a difference. You can A and B of that, rewind the video. So if you're on the go, don't worry if you think it's going to lose a lot of quality in the displays. The displays are awesome. Trust me on that. They're very clean, clear, very crisp. It's almost like a retina display. That's probably the best way to describe these screens. They're like retina screens. They are very high quality. All right, so let's try to run through this as fast as we can. All right, so you immediately notice how the layout is very intuitive, very straightforward. We have these, what's most obvious to most people anyway, is going to be the step chords and the keyboard and the pad mode feature here, and the fixed velocity button here. Off like this is going to be when you have to like tap on your pads a little bit more. And fixed velocity, no matter how hard or how soft you hit the pads, it's going to be one fixed velocity. Now, when it comes to the browser section here, there's a browser icon here. Now, on channel MIDI, you have a master level, the group level, as well as the sound level. Okay, and these are the attributes of those levels when you want access to inputs, outputs, your grooves, your macros, and things of that nature. Okay, so by clicking this button here, you can access those certain features there. And again, I'm not going really in depth, guys, just trying to keep it brief. This is my first impression video. We're going to get into more in-depth tutorials later. Okay. All right, so the browser has a very intuitive user interface and a workflow. All the pages are organized and consolidated, as you can see in the browser, in the software. So by clicking browser here, you notice how all drum samples are tagged and filtered for convenient searching and browsing, which can be accessed via the projects, the groups, sounds, instruments, okay, as well as effects. Okay, so as you can see, Maschine is a very ergonomic and feature-rich software with intuitive functionality, and it just keeps getting better. So immediately you notice the navigation. Okay, this four-directional encoder. You'll notice that when you enter your libraries, you have these little lights. There's a blue one on the left, the right, top, and bottom. It lets you know what you can and what you can't do as far as your navigation. Very smart of Native Instruments to have it like that. So I don't have a whole ton of sounds in here. So as you can see right there, this lets you know where you can access more things in your library. You notice how on projects it won't let me go down because I haven't put a lot of projects in this software. The software is basically brand new to me. But by turning this wheel to the right, I can scroll through the projects. Okay, so this is an endless rotary encoder knob. And if there was more of a catalog in here, the blue light down here would be on, and you would click down like this, and it would take me through it. Okay, so for example, let's click on something where the blue light does light up. As you can see right here, here are some of my waves instruments. There's Soundlab. So now the light lights up here. So when I click this down, Okay, I begin to navigate. And very smartly, when it's the end of the library, the light goes off. All right. So make sure, guys, when you're checking out this video, give me a thumbs up, share the video. I want everyone out there just to know that, I'm not just saying this. I mean, this MK3 is incredible. I mean, with the built-in sound card for the price for $599, this is just simply, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer, guys. I mean, this is going to step your workflow up, I mean, just look at the layout alone. Everything is backlit now. So that means if you're in a club, if you're a DJ, if you're at home, you ever be vibing out in your lab, you got the lights down low, you got some lights flashing. I mean, it's nice when you can just sit there and sit back and relax. And you don't have to sit there and squint. I mean, everything is backlit. I mean, brilliant job by Native Instruments. So let's take a look at just some of the features over here. We'll kind of just go, let's go in a chronological order down. Then we'll get around here and around here to transport. Then we'll end the video until we get into more in-depth videos. Okay, here's your plugin instance. Right there, it's a Waves L2. You notice how you have this little plus icon next to it. Now you notice, again, the light lights up. Very intuitive. It's letting you know, hey, look, there's something right here. What is that? This light's letting you know. Click that. Boom. All right, empty. Click this 4-directional encoder. Boom. Now we have access to what's inside our internal plugins. By scrolling through this, we can go through the internal plugins, the vendors labeled here. Now, these touch capacitive knobs, you can see right here, is giving me what I have loaded in here. Internal, which is these, Native Instruments, there, Apple, there, Focusrite, which came with my sound card, and the Waves library. Very intuitive. Nice feature. So now you can sit there and go through your libraries. I'm so used to using this knob right here. This knob right here is how you can scroll through these libraries. I don't think this knob lets you do it. Oh, it does do it. Cool. You can use this knob or the rotary. I didn't know that. Cool. This is probably a lot quicker. So you can scroll through your plugins and you can actually click load and you can load your library. All right, so let's keep it moving because I don't want this video to run too long. These are just my first impressions. The knobs, the buttons. What's the best way to describe these? Very solid, guys. Very, very high quality. I mean, listen to the click on this. Like, I don't know if you can hear that. The camera might not pick it up. Solid click. Reminiscent of the Maschine Studio, but just feels just a little bit solider. And I'm trying to give you guys the best insight on this because, if you're out there and you're wondering, should I buy this? Should I not buy this? Should I wait around for something better? You owe it to yourself to get this. I mean, this is very, very portable. You got a built-in sound card. Sound cards alone could run what, $200-300. It's built in there for you. Nice HD. I'm saying HD, but these nice color RGB displays. They're very, very nice, and it's very, very intuitive. It's laid out in a manner that's very user friendly. I mean, it's straightforward. When you first see it, you might be overwhelmed. When I opened up the box, I was like, wow. But it's very, very simple. You'll see once you get on it how very, very easy it is. Okay, here's your arranger here. Sections now, scenes. Okay, going like this is how you can go through your scenes and your patterns. They're basically the same thing. If you understand scenes, you're basically understanding patterns and vice versa. So I get like a lot of emails. People get confused between the two. Scenes are just a container that sequence your patterns. Okay, your ideas mode is just basically to get your ideas down, and you just go ahead and use the arranger when you're ready to just place them ideas and say, okay, this is what I want to use. I want to append it, or you want to select them scenes. Okay, for example, intro. Right there, you see when I touch this touch capacitive knob here where it says, okay, section, position 1. Only thing position 1 means is that's the looper right there. When I move to position 2, you see how the looper goes over there? Okay, what's the best way to describe this? This is a copy of what's on your pads. Down here, okay, if I go like this is the same as moving this. So if I hit both these pads at the same time, that you can't do that with this knob. This is how you can loop them, those scenes really quickly on the fly. If I had more scenes in here, I can touch the first pad and touch the last pad. Okay, these are what's called your scene banks. Your banks is here. Now, of course, there's there's not going to be any in there because this is just a quick little video. But if I had more scenes, there would be more banks, and you can scroll through your banks. When I go to bank 2, the lights go off. Okay, so again, I'm trying to run through this, as really quick as I can, guys. Please be patient with me. I'm trying to really run through this. I want to get it all in. Okay, so you have the mixer button here. What's the best way to describe this? Again, follow. You know what? Why don't we call this? If Native Instruments is listening, why don't we call these little lights Native Guide? I think that would be a nice patent pending idea. Native Guide is what I'm gonna call it. Native Guide lets you know what you can click on and what you can't click on. Okay, to the left, we're rolling through our groups. When I'm in group A, this light goes off. It says I can go down. Okay, let's say if I'm on A, if I click down, look, I'm accessing sounds now. So to make this more visible, let me jump on B, where I have some drums. There's all the drum sounds. Again, Native Guide is letting me know you can go up to groups. You can go left or right scrolling through your groups. Okay, I can click down and access the sound library. Now, these sounds are not like the browser. This is the sounds that's on the group. Again, scroll through them. Very, very quick. So you can imagine how when you're making a beat or something, how quick that's going to be when you come like click, 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 boom, boom, boom. And then check this out. Look what else they threw in here. This 4-directional encoder, when I click this, boom, look at that. There's your decibels. Look at this. There's your pans. So now I can scroll left or right. Look at that. Nice. Click it again. Look. Volume. Not like the other volume. You have a volume key here. Now, this is different. Okay, when I click this, this is the master volume. That'd be the best way to describe that. So if you look in the software, see there? It's moving there. But if I turn this off here, it's not doing that. It's on the mixer. All right, so that's a brief overview of that. Again, you have different sound levels. You have a master level. You have, there's the name of the project, your beats per minute, and that's the position in the pattern arranger, focused arranger, whatever you want to call it, group. Okay, here's all the effects that's on that group, meaning affecting everything. Okay, not just on the sound level. Okay, so these particular plugins here are going to affect the entire group. Every sound will be affected by that. And again, there's a little plus icon. Again, Native Guide is what I'm calling it, is letting you know what you can do in these little sections. Here's the sound level, meaning what plugins that you have on those sounds. Access certain things like your polyphony. Look at that shortcut. Is that nice or what? remember the days of doing this? Turn this, you just touch that. Look at that. Look at that. I wish this touch strip could move that even quicker. Like when I touch this, I wish that if Native Instruments is listening, what a nice touch would that be when I touch this and then I just, you know what? For example, okay, let's say here's a kick, snare, hi-hat, and I have this camera thing here, so it's hard for me to get my fingers in here. So if I look like I'm retarded, you gotta excuse me because it's like this. So it's like, making a beat, right? Another snare right there. But check this out. Native Instruments has a note button. So let's say if I hold all 40 keys like this right here, right? And then I click notes. Now, we all know that you can scroll through your notes, meaning if there was instrument sounds here, I can scroll through them. But look at this. The touch strip, you actually can tap on this. So now you can take your fingers, check this out. Man, Native Instruments is not playing. They're unlocking new ways to play now. I mean, that is intuitive, because what happens is if you don't hold your pad, you just, you go through all your sounds. like so. All right, so again, let's hurry up. I'm trying to get through this video as fast as I can, because I'm gonna have to make small modules to go through each section in depth, for you to get a full understanding of that. Okay, browser. Again, we've been through that. All right, so sampling. Of course, Native Instruments allows you to overlap your samples, and you have different modes. Record, of course. This is me talking on the microphone. You have different recording sources here, such as stereo, mono, internal, and here's your inputs. These are stereo inputs. Here's your mode. You can actually sync where you can actually start recording, detecting on a certain threshold, or when it's recording, you can actually sync it to where it stops recording. And you also can set the length here from a bar to 16 bars. I believe 16 bars is the most you can do with that. And you'll click the start button right there, and that's how we get going. Zone. This is basically where you can set up instrument sounds, spreading your key range, your zone range might be a better way to say it. You can trigger notes on certain velocities, get instruments set up there, put things on certain key notes, things of that nature. Remove sounds from the map or add sounds to the map, stack layer sounds, overlap sounds. You can just think of that as just one big giant barrel just to drop everything in there. Edit. This is just basically to edit your samples, your start and end points. And again, if there was more slice points in there, you can overlap your samples. As you can see on the screen here, different modes, such as manual. You see how this light is flashing here. I'm going to destroy this kick by doing this, but what happens is when you tap on one pad, it follows suit. So I go really quick there to try to get that in for an example, and you can delete all or remove one at a time, or whatever the case may be. Split. You can add them in there like this. Okay, so that's what that's for. Again, moving along relatively quickly. Let's see, we did a ranger mixer. Okay, these are just left and right arrows. You can scroll through attributes in certain sections. For example, play range, selection range, time stretch settings. You can you have a settings icon there. We can access these various icons there. So that's a nice way to get in there and tweak out your sounds. File save. This is basically for if you want to load projects or save projects. Okay, so if I click this is the current project that we're on, recent MK3 Lounge Vibe. That's the video that we're in right now. Source beat per minute, and these are some of the sounds. You can use the rotary knob and scroll through your sounds. Click load. Okay, settings. This is basically where if you want to get your metronome set up, the metronome volume here, the metronome time, things of that nature, all that good stuff is there. Metronome on, metronome off. That's basically what that's for. And also you can press shift and save and save your project. You see how it said project save. It went really, really quickly, but rewind the video and you'll see that. All right, so the battery of my camera died for whatever reason. I forgot to charge it, so I had to recharge that. Okay, so moving right along, we were talking about what the metronome. Okay, so we went through that. All right, so now we're back over here under the channel properties. We have master, group, and a sound level. Input. Here's your routings key mode. When you tap on that, you can go such as a mode such as off, drum kit, as well as manual. We'll get into those in later videos. Over here, this is volume, swing, tempo. Basically, this is your master volume, your swing and position. Up under that, you see that there's different functions. That just basically means that you can hold past, turn these knobs, and do other things. For example, if I touch this kick and turn this knob, watch what happens up here on the screen. You see it says sound volume. Kick's getting louder or lower. So let's put it back at 0 dB. Now watch how I press swing. Sound swing. 13, 14, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. All right, so in other words, you have individual control over each sound on well, this is a group level, sound level. Same thing. You can have an individual swing on each sound. You also have a global swing as well to help tweak out your sounds. Tune. Again, hold the pad. And right there I went to -4. The camera's not probably on that. I have to zoom in on that, but all right, so this is basically like the wrenches and the socket wrenches and everything you need to build your track, the hammers and this is everything you need right here, man. This is your toolbox. Matter of fact, if Native Instruments is watching, let's nickname this the native toolbox. These little sections in here. The native toolbox, what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna call it. Jump in the native toolbox and start building some stuff. All right, let's start building some stuff. All right, so I went over Ranger Mixer browser sampling, file saving settings, macro. Did I do the macros? I don't know if I did the macros. All right, let's click on macros right quick. Again, left and right arrow here. You can go through your inputs such as your source. Okay, here's your sources. Here's your channels. Here's your MIDI channels. For example, here's your outputs. You have your EXTs here up to 16. EXT outputs and all that. That's basically for routing and things of that nature. All right, so where was I? Okay, groove, macros. All right, let's go to on a group level. Let's go to a plugin instance, SSL, EQ. Let's press Shift, macro, set macro comes up. It's just ready to go. Let's do lo-fi gain, lo-fi mid gain, mid-fi gain, and gain. Okay, boom. Those are ready. Those are ready to go. They're set now. So now let's do. Okay. You have unlimited macros. You know, it doesn't okay, like you can keep stacking them up. Okay, like on master level, I'm stacking them up here. You can stack up as many macros as you want. It's unlimited macro creation now. So that's dope. And then you can scroll through your instances here. All right, so let's jump off tune. Okay, note repeat. Pretty obvious, that's you got your you have your different parameters here. Now let's jump. I'm gonna jump off note repeat. Let's go to the pattern. Let's go to the arranger. All right, here's your patterns here. Now when you touch these icons here, you can zoom in and zoom out of your samples and scroll through your samples. All right, so I like to keep these kind of large here so you can see basically what's going on with that. So sometimes when you're playing your patterns, it can get kind of confusing because everything's moving, so like, okay, like and let me just redo this session because I just I threw that off. I threw that off a little bit. All right, let's go back to. All right, we're good there. Discard that. And get that volume back up. All right, bring the pattern back. All right, so you see everything, it can get like kind of confusing in here because everything's big on here, and then this is playing, it will just go through. Okay, so one thing you can do, Native Instruments is really smart. They made it so it's very, very easy. It's kind of like a little periscope, like a little viewfinder. They have a great little icon right here that's called follow. When you select this follow icon, this little icon here will scroll with the what do you call this line? The playhead. the playhead. See how it's moving? So that makes life easy when you want to go through those little patterns and zoom in, which is great for nudging and things of that nature. Seeing we already been through that, You know, you can loop it like this, touch first pad, last pad, patterns. You go to your patterns here. You know, you can fill up your patterns like this here. Then you go to bank 2. You can add more patterns on like this. Okay, so basically what happens is now you're going through your pattern banks, unlimited patterns. Same thing with scenes. If you know, if you have other scenes up in here, you know, you can add scenes like this. You know, go to your second bank and, you know, just maybe faster like this. Let me just get some in there. All right, so just going through the pattern, the scene banks like that. Unlimited creation. So you have various methods, you know, as far as go back to bank 1. Where's my okay? So you can have like unique scenes. You can have scenes unique. Under the preferences menu, there's something in there. I forgot. Let me think. It's something if you want to something with the touch. Let me see. What was it? Touch auto write. With the touch sense knobs, you can highlight this. You know, when you want to use the knobs for the touch auto write. That's kind of dope for like automation and stuff like that. Again, other video. Okay, go back to get on scenes, arranger, events. Events is cool. You can highlight different scenes like this. Not scenes, I'm sorry, but your notes. As you can see right there, they're getting highlighted right there. They're lit. So what happens is if I zoom out on this, basically you can hold a pad. Okay, this is deselecting the events. Okay, then if you want to select the events, you know, you can highlight the events. Okay, so then you can zoom in on certain events. Like, let me zoom in on this, and as I get closer into the event, I'm gonna try to zoom in on that so you can see what's going on. Trying to home in on a note. Okay, so what's the reason that's because when you want to get in there without touching the mouse, you know, and shift nudge those notes as I'm doing there, those notes are moving. You probably get a better view in the software right now, but they're moving. So for whatever reason, if you want to get a more human feel, something not, you know, completely perfectly on time, you know, you can press shift, quantize, put them back on time, whatever. I would call that native nudge. Native, I don't know. It's nudging notes, you know what I'm saying? That's what that's for. All right, so that's the events. Okay, so we did scenes, pattern, events. We didn't do what? Go to the arranger. Let's go to group level. Let's go to group C. Let's go to the perform effects. Here's the strip, the scratcher. That one's kind of dope. Let's all right, give me a second. I want to make like a kill switch right quick. You know, that's kind of dope. Like, you know, like on 1200 you hit the kill switch. You know, real handy. And like on the perform effects, it's like down in here, this little area, it's not gonna do it right now, it's not playing, but this little area right here is like to me it seems to be where 9 times out of 10 where you'll find like the part or whatever it is that you're using to trying to find like the scratching part, and this is more like the higher notes. Okay, so then right now I was tapping on the pad, kind of like, you know, touching on the vinyl in a way. So when it is on, you know, it's kind of like, okay. You know what I'm saying? That's a little bugged out thing. And there's like different ones in here. Like go like this tremolo, this kind of like, I don't know, this is like some weird wobbly thing or something. You know, wild effects in here, man. What's another one? Burst echo. That's another bug. That one. Hear that? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of got that. It's like a delay or something like that. Too much of that can get kind of wild. All right, so then there's other ones in here. Stutter. That's like repetitive notes. Like sometimes. Well, do I want to do it on a kick? I don't know if I want to do it on the kick. What do I want to do it on? Because then I got to open up another perform effects on the kick group. All right, we'll just stay here, and it might sound weird on that. All right, and moving right along. Yeah, because we don't want this video to run too long. Let's go ahead and just look at the lock state. You get up to 64 snapshots. So one cool thing about this, you can hit the lock key. Hit it again, then it goes back to the original state. So it goes back to the original state. You know what I'm saying? Then you can take it a step further. You can hit shift plus external lock, and we can do it like this here, and we can go back and then you can take it a step further, go back, you can turn your morph on, and you can morph them through states, travel. Let's do half, target. All right, man, I'm just gonna end it off right here because we're running a little bit longer than I expected. You know, just give my first impressions. A solid controller, Native Instruments. My hat's off to them, brilliant work. Shout out to Native Instruments, the VIP Soundlab. We thank you. This is an incredible innovation. I mean, this right here is history in the making. You know, I'm very proud to be a Native Instruments MK3 owner. You know, the built-in sound card, the high resolution screens, the bigger and better pads, the strong, sturdy build on it. You know, it has a nice weight to it, man. I think it's like 8 pounds, something like that. You know, it's very solid. Like when you hold it, it feels like it doesn't feel cheap. You know, it feels like you got something in your hand. You know, it's got a little weight to it, man. You know, and again, the revolutionary 4-directional encoder knob. You know, the nice pads and everything like that, man. It's really really tight, man. And I'm not just saying that, man. I mean, this is, you guys really have something here, man. You really have something here. So that's pretty much it on this one. I'll see you guys in the next one. It's your boy Fontaine. Be sure to visit us at www.vipsoundlab.com. We have a basic membership that's $9.99 with no monthly fees. You know, you can sign up for our MK3 course. So that's pretty much it. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.